Now arriving at Yijiang Tower. Initiating match.
Good evening and welcome to WCU Esports. Today we have WCU Slate taking on University of Montana Copper. I am Mountain Rain, joined here by JoJo Mojo.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back in. It's great to be back for another semester. First game of actual season play tonight, so looks like we have Arissa, Reaper, May, Lucio, and Anna coming in for WCU, going against a Reinhardt, Reaper, I believe that is Symmetra, and then Mercy and Moira for Montana.
3, 2,
and I can't quite remember what map this is, but it looks like it is going to be a control map. So trying to make sure that we get in and get early control and keeping that control throughout the entire time tonight is going to be crucial. And here comes our first big fight of the night. So Arissa going against the Reinhardt. WCU trying to take this early lead, almost fully eliminating their Moira, but Louis getting their Reinhardt, Tofu getting their Symmetra, and Cam getting their Mercy. Their Reinhardt did get revved in time by their Mercy, which probably led to the death, but WCU gets an early control in this game.
That's definitely huge. Looking at these two teams, it should be relatively even match, but WCU is definitely winning this first fight.
And this is also going to be a very interesting night, being that the season is kind of wonky. Having played for the past couple of days myself, it's a little bit weird on this update. Right now looking like Cam almost at his ult, Tofu and Shadow a little bit higher up, Sponge very high. So our ults should be coming in soon, especially in comparison to UMTs. Getting his ult, getting a triple kill, Dis getting their Reaper, and also their Reinhardt for a team kill, putting WCU up 50% to none. So a beautiful ult from Cam there, wiping out almost the entirety of UMT, and WCU getting really close to the rest of their ults, which shows, or which, not getting ahead of ourselves here, could mean a pretty early, easy victory for WCU. So it looks like they're now going against a Pharah, Junkrat, and Kiriko, as opposed to what was originally selected by Montana, which playing Junkrat can be useful because it's more of an area of effect type damage as opposed to having to hit your shots directly. There goes 3-4 of Montana, maybe the 5th here, and that will do it. That is a team kill, though slightly staggered. And with 92%, that is going to be a quick first round if they can't get here in time, which it looks like they're just going to be too slow.
We'll take game one.
They'll take the first in this best of 3 for their first round. They're starting out this season, I think, much better than last semester, aren't they?
So far.
So far. Taking the first game and handily at that is a phenomenal opening show.
My dimensions have not changed. Does the javelin make me look taller?
Looks like we are changing to a Symmetra over a Reaper, but other than that, WCU staying the same, and UMT also they are doing some last minute changes to their DPS, switching to Ashe and Bastion. Looks like we're going to actually have our first big fight right away.
WCU using the teleporter to get up there early. You have Montana and Copper pushing around their left side. WCU holding out that coach.
I believe this is Lijiang. There's a massive tower in the middle. WCU doing some major damage at the beginning. And the support's really helping out with the tank there, making sure that they stay alive. So WCU getting their early control, blocking the Reinhardt. And there goes Disc getting 2 kills, 1 on Reinhardt, 1 on Kiriko. Looks like we are pressuring their Bastion. Our Mei freezing up just to regain some health.
That was a great play there by the Mountaineers.
Disc getting their Ana, Cam getting their Bastion, almost forcing UMT to wait for a full regroup here. But we can see, I believe that is Tofu running in, just trying to do some more shift damage. And UMT maybe going for a flank strategy here, but the Reinhardt's off on his own with no healers, but looks like they are now coming in. There's the Kiriko on, there's 4, so it looks like they might be doing a 4-to-1 flank strategy here, trying just to get behind WCU and just force them out of point.
And Tofu gets the pick there. Making a 4-on-5 now. WCU again with the wall, locking off Reinhardt and getting the kill.
And there's 3
Another.
kills.
My goodness. Mountaineers are looking good so far.
And in this game, it looks like WCU has only gotten that 1 person downed in Disagree just now. But overall, that would be close on what? A 9-to-1 KD team to team. 10-to-1, I stand corrected. Cam Louie just finding that Ashe just now. Switch on tank over to Zarya, and a switch for Montana's over to one of Montana's healers there. Ana, I believe, going over to Lucio. Cam finding 1 with that ult, finding a second with his on an assist with Tofu. Tofu and Cam just going to town on UMT. Ana's
UMT is on point though. They're 2 on point and taking it quickly.
And there's that contest last second, so we're now in overtime. And if UMT does not get a touch here, then they are going to lose round 1.
Well played by WCU.
A huge effort from WCU, just forcing them out of the point of control and absolutely crushing them. So right after we get this play of the game from Cam Louie, we will go ahead and get back once they select their next map and the next squad.
Entering mid-tower. Initiating match.
And welcome back, everyone. We are here in round 2 on Midtown, WCU in red and Montana in blue. This go about WCU attacking first this round, and this is a gain point control and then escort a payload. So hopefully we will see another round of success from WCU, but as of right now, we don't quite know what to expect.
Yeah, this is definitely a map WCU struggled on last semester, at least WCU Slate. It is definitely tough, considering that there's kind of one major choke point right when you come through this bridge here. Looks like Montana Copper's kind of staying back and holding that. They're not going to push anything early. We'll see if WCU takes the low ground. It looks like they are, the low right. So they're going to be coming out of this door right here.
And that very well could take Montana by surprise, but looks like they were just ready for it. Symmetra getting that teleporter in early, and Dis dying almost instantly, getting absolutely shredded by everyone. This go about, we see UMT running with Sigma, Ashe, Bastion, Lucio, and Kiriko. WCU running what was an Orisa, Symmetra, Reaper, Lucio, Anna, now switching from Symmetra to Bastion. So hopefully that means our DPS is going to be a bit higher and faster, doing a little bit more damage, and we can see that where this almost completely taking out that Sigma on his own. First big fight here, or second big fight I should say. And literally finding the opposing Bastion, but getting taken out by their Kiriko in the process. Disagree, finding the Sigma, putting WCU a little bit in a better position with UMT being down a healer and a... Oh, and here we see Sponge taking out both the Ashe and the Lucio. So that is 4 out of 5, so UMT probably going to have to back out here and just let them take the point and hopefully stop them here again in this next major choke point right through this small area.
Escort the payload.
Yeah, so WCU gets the payload pretty quickly there. Looking at 40 seconds on the clock.
And that is to get to the next checkpoint. I should mention, just for those of you who may not be entirely familiar with how this works. You have the time allotted to get to the specific point. If you do not make it in said time, then you are measured with how far you get in terms of the posts. And really trying to find someone with his ult there can't. Tofu stealing that kill on the Lucio. The Lucio finding our, I think it was our Anna. They're Ashe finding our Lucio, but Tofu and Cam finding the Kiriko and Sigma and the Ashe respectively, putting WCU up a little bit here just to get some more distance on their payload.
I've got you.
No major lineup changes from that first little attack point where we have some creeper change on the WCU side. We have the next big firefight coming in. Our Orisa Cam finding a huge block on Sigma's, I don't know quite what it's called, but it does stun and knock the target down if they do not get out of the way, or if it's not a tank which can mitigate damage.
WCU reaches that next checkpoint.
And WCU here finding their Ashe, but UMT finding our Bastion in the process. Looks like UMT might end up coming out on top here as they pop the ultimate on Kiriko, Kitsune Rush, which gives them a speed and I believe a damage boost as well. So it looks like we just lost one of our DPS there, Tofu, who's now going to have to try and get back into the fray, which they are all right there around the corner. This now changing yet again to... with Shadow Knight finding Moonlit, Spongy finding Athena, and there's the team kill with Shadow finishing out the Sigma. So we see now with this new composition, WCU trying just to hold out and just do some chip damage, while UMT is trying just to keep them off of the point for as long as possible, which is a little difficult with as many people and as strong as this WCU team is. You see a change over to Winston now for UMT, not looking to do too much. Their Junkrat now trying to do some more damage, but the Bastion and Kiriko falling on UMT's side as well. The Lucio almost there himself. Meanwhile, the lowest on WCU's side being Cam, who promptly gets healed. The Junkrat found the Junkrat there. So it's going to be just another huge battle here just to get this final push. But with 3 minutes on the clock, it looks like WCU might just be able to take it. Not seeming to do too much though, as Cam and Shadow Knight each of them finding one of UMT's team. And WCU being close on almost all of their ults, whereas, oh, that was a triple kill from Cam on his ult there, setting WCU up just to try and knock the Winston out, which they can't quite do. Dis having to flee the fight to just stay alive.
Death appears.
He's moving back to regroup. Smart move there as a team.
Waiting for everyone to get back, namely for their tank to get back in before they try and get one last big push here just to finish it out. Look at that Riptire go in. He finds the Lucio, and Tofu finding the Winston in the foreground means that it is going to be a little bit more difficult for UMT to stay in this. And there we go. That is a team kill right there. WCU just needing to push through here. Winston getting back just in time to get a touch on the point to allow to prevent WCU from finishing out. But here we go, and with that, WCU takes the point with 1.5 minutes to spare. So really fast, we are going to see the change in teams. WCU now going to be defending and trying to keep UMT back, while UMT is going to be trying to get the payload all the way down once again.
Initiating match. Ready for battle.
And here we go, looking to go into round 2 of this same bout of capture and escort. WCU going with an if it ain't broke, don't fix it type strategy, with Cam staying as Orisa, Dis going back to his Bastion, Tofu going back to the Mei, Shadow Knight actually changing over to Moira, and Sponge staying as Anna. And we can see that Montana is just trying new compositions throughout this entire game, going Winston, Sojourn, Tracer, Moira, and Lucio. The only consistent one from last round to this one being the Winston, which was changed up a few times throughout that entire fight sequence.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of teams playing this different than last semester. A lot of teams last semester were coming down the street and starting the fight early. Seems pretty common now to going through this lower section and fighting there.
As we just hear one of WCU's teammates in the arena go yep as they see them coming through the underground passageway. We can see one of UMT's trying to sneak around and get point, get some control in the back, but not to any avail or success. And you can see Cam going in 1 versus 2 on it looks to be both supports and getting, or 1 support and 1 DPS getting taken out. WCU though winning that fight overall.
Strategy from Montana Copper. They're definitely trying to split. Can't say it's working out though yet.
I can't say it's doing them any disservice though. To their credit, it just seems they keep pushing with 1 or 2 people. Those 1 or 2 people are doing enough to make it to where WCU kind of has to fall back onto that control point and just play it safe. And Tofu getting taken out by Athena there. And Athena nope, that is the same one. Athena taking out Tofu. I just saw that. But Moonlit finding Dis. 4-1 contest, and that is going to probably do it for WCU. They're going to stay on and try and get as many people back as soon as they can with the closer spawn point. But there it is. It looks like UMT is going to get this payload just as early as WCU did. WCU grouping up here, getting ready, and here we go. Another firefight coming in. We did get the contest off last second. WCU finding the Winston, and there is going to be the ult from Tofu, who found Moonlit, the Tracer. There's the Kitsune Rush from Kiriko, who just got eliminated, and there is going to be 4, or in succession 5, I should say, of the UMT attacking force.
That was a great holdout there by WCU. I really thought they were just going to let it happen, and I'm sure Montana thought the same as well, sitting there just like, cool, we got point. They were already thinking ahead.
Montana already thinking ahead, but WCU just having a couple extra steps there on that track. So it looks like WCU is going to be just trying to hold them out here for the next minute, but right now losing this fight, having lost 3 as opposed to the 2 on UMT. UMT also a little closer in terms of respawn. And there goes the healer, which means that not too far behind should be Cam if he's not careful. But he just ults on point, almost getting some of UMT, but not quite close enough.
Did scare UMT off though, giving WCU to get some more people back in this fight.
And this fight is still UMT's it was UMT's to lose, and they really wanted to take that point. So UMT with 2:55 left to escort the payload to that first checkpoint. WCU gonna be entirely grouped up and ready to go. We do see
right around 2 minutes off of WCU's time from getting that point, so WCU did do well holding out Montana there.
We can see WCU trying to set up a small flank here with, I believe that is Dis on the side, trying to go in and get the back line. He's going for it. He turns off of the Moira and turns back on, so it is a 1v1 there with Reaper to Moira. And WCU finding 2-2, and there's the ult, which gets a triple kill, a team kill, nevertheless, for WCU. With 2:10 left on the clock, UMT is really going to have to try and find a push that works for them to get through to that checkpoint. WCU now controlling that payload and pushing it back just a bit. This going for an early charge in, trying just to take out that Sojourn, but not quite finding it. Sponge and Tofu managing to get the Winston. The Kiriko finding Dis on his own. So it's looking to be a fairly even fight here as we start to get later. There it is, 2 kills from Tofu and a 3rd from Cam. Almost a 4th here, as you can see the health of Moonlit being incredibly low there for half a second. Looks like WCU is going to keep control here and just stay on the point, trying to get their supports to regroup and make sure that everyone is healthy and safe and ready for this next fight that's about to happen. As we see UMT grouping up, 4-on-5 is looking like what they're going to do. And we will see how this plays out. And there is Dis coming in on the top. Kitsune Rush is popped. Dis finding Winston. Cam's ult having just been wasted, but that not stopping him, finding Moonlit and helping with the kill on Athena.
This is getting into territory. Montana's definitely going to have to back out and just go for essentially one last push at this point as a team. So,
And this last push is going to make or break their round, and I think the series, if memory serves, because this is a best of 3, not a best of 5.
30 seconds.
So if
remaining.
Montana doesn't get their push and touch here on overtime, that means that WCU is going to control them and stop it, winning this round, and I believe that should end the match. And here we go, we can see this last fight going in. WCU having taken down the tank. The supports on WCU, or the DPS getting fairly low, but not stopping. That's 4 of 5 down on Montana, and there's their 5th with Nay, who just got wiped out. Overtime here. Montana gonna have to try and rush in just to get a touch, and that is going to be game, set, and match, I believe.
Play of the game.
An absolute massacre from WCU, both or in all rounds of this series. Absolute destructive force here, and that just shattered the attempts from Montana.
yeah, well played by WCU. And we'll be back after the break.
Circuit Royale. Initiating match.
And we're back here for map 3 in this best of 5 series if WCU wins
Ready
this.
for battle.
That will conclude today's competition for WCU Slate. We will see if Montana Copper can hold out the Mountaineers here. We do see a sub coming from WCU as a sub in JoJo's Mojo, as he will be on the Hanzo.
Five, four,
This
three,
map definitely has an early choke point right on this
attackers
turn,
incoming.
but we'll see how WCU handles
Stop
it.
the payload.
Enemy vector calculated. A threat emerges. Barrier is nearly spent. A threat emerges.
Sombra online. The
Payload needs to be moved. Taking care of you.
A payload in motion stays in motion.
No kill is truly clean.
over there.
Over there. The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Barrier initialized.
Pain is inevitable. You're broken. May I? Nanite administered. Can I heal you?
The odds lean heavy against us.
You cannot escape. I will stop.
Enemy vector calculated.
A payload in motion. Stay in motion. All lives come to an end.
The payload moves.
Come on, team. Push the payload. Aerial positioning underway.
Seconds remaining.
What is that melody?
30 seconds.
And that was a great stop there by University of Montana as they stopped WCU just short of closing that final checkpoint. Now University of Montana is going to have a lot of ground to cover, but as long as they can finish, they still have hope.
Ready for battle.
In the field, Doctor? Testing a hypothesis, perhaps?
With the rate at which our colleagues get injured, I expect I'll be testing my patience.
Like I was saying at the start of last game, right on this corner here is a pretty common choke point. WCU did a good job getting past that. we will see if University of Montana can do the same.
2, 1. Attackers
This could be an early finish if WCU is able to hold Montana back in their spawn. And we have the first pick there coming from JoJo Mojo. And WCU gets another on Orisa. And another WCU. Looks like they're going to win this fight early on. This is definitely a choke point for sure. University of Montana is simply just trying to get around that point and gain some momentum. WCU doing a good job holding them out. Disagree almost overcommitting there though. Hopefully get him out just in time.
Eyes on a target.
Enemy vector calculated.
WCU holding on to 4 ults right now as Montana Copper is sitting there with 2. Toasted Tofu popping here, getting 1 kill there. 2 kills. He does sacrifice his life, but does get quite a few kills out of that. Montana's finally back on the cart, starting to make a push here. Under the minute mark. Montana with 4 players on cart though.
Don't fret. I see you.
And gotta pick down Spongy Boy. Montana's definitely fighting for this first checkpoint. WCU though is starting to slowly pick them off. It's not looking good for Montana.
It is fleeting.
There's a great stop there by the Mountaineers. Only 1 left and they got the kill there.
10 seconds remaining.
Mere moments we will reign triumphant.
Montana's gonna have to get on that cart quick. They will not be able to. WCU will win it.
Play of the game.
And that will conclude our game today with WCU winning 3-0 over the University of Montana, Montana Copper. Next up, later tonight, we will have WCU Crimson on the stream. That will be at approximately 8:30. So stay tuned then.